Call me irresponsible, call me unreliable, throw in.
Albrecht Dürer was born in Nuremberg, Germany in 1471. The Metropolitan Museum of Art says of Nuremberg, quote, one of the strongest artistic and commercial centers in Europe during the 15th and 16th centuries. His parents, Albrecht Sr. and Barbara Helfer, had 18 children, Albrecht being the second son. Dürer was an apprentice to his father, a goldsmith, and Michael Wohlgemuth, a local painter. He also produced woodcut illustrations for major books and publications. Wohlgemuth taught Dürer wood carving, copper engraving, and not to mention painting. When his apprenticeship ended, he briefly visited the family of painter-engraver Martin Schwanegger, spelled Schoumlet, though he had been intending to study with Martin before his untimely death in 1491. While there, he learned and had some training and practice of the art of metal engraving and wood cutting.
Undependable too. Do my foolish alibis bore you? Well, I'm not too clever.
Dürer was married on July 9, 1490, but left for Italy 4 years later, leaving his wife in Nuremberg. A short stay in Italy produced some engravings and drawings that were closely linked to some other notable Italian works of the time. He then returned to Nuremberg to produce some of his most prized works, having finally mastered and revolutionized the art of printmaking.
I just adore you, so calm, unpredictable. Tell me I'm impractical, a rainbow I'm inclined to pursue. Call me irresponsible.
By the age of 30, Dürer had completed or begun 3 of his most famous series of woodcuts on religious subjects: the Apocalypse, 1498, the Large Woodcut Passion, circa 1497 to 1500, and the Life of the Virgin, begun in 1500, states the Metropolitan Museum of Art. During the years of 1505 to 1507, Albrecht visited the country once again. He was able to see some of the products of the Italian Renaissance for himself. During this trip to Italy, his engravings began to gain popularity. With his popularity came a very valued commission. In the Feast of the Rose Garlands, painted for German immigrants living in Venice, the influence of the Italian painters is seen with the use of Venetian disegno. The Metropolitan Museum of Art explains that for the Florentines and other Central Italian artists, the act of drawing was not only the art of using line to define form, it was the artistic underpinning of a work whereby an artist could express his inner vision. Dürer also began to delve into the art of human form, as seen in these 2 sketches. The first of a human hand, the second of 5 male nudes. Albrecht Dürer, The Complete Works, states that, despite the regard in which he was held by the Venetians, Dürer was back in Nuremberg by mid-1507. He remained in Germany until 1520. His reputation spread all over Europe. He was on terms of friendship or friendly communication with all the masters of the age, and Raphael held himself honored in exchanging drawings with Dürer. During the summer of 1520, Dürer, his wife, and a maid traveled extensively, visiting places such as Rhine, Antwerp, Ghent, Brussels, and Zeeland. He was even present at the coronation of the Netherlands Emperor Charles V, and in July of that same year caught an illness that declined his health for the remainder of his days. Back in Nuremberg, which had become a center of the sweeping Reformation craze, Dürer painted double panels called the Four Apostles in 1526. These paintings included texts in Martin Luther's translation that pay tribute to the city's adoption of Lutheranism, the Metropolitan Museum of Art explains. During these last years of Dürer's life, he began to pursue literary arts, and therefore neglected his visual arts. Very little was produced during these years, and it wasn't long until the undetermined sickness he had caught while on travel in 1520 finally took its toll. Lautrec died in 1528, leaving behind a legacy of prints, paintings, wood carving, several mediums of metal engravings, many sketches, and several works of literature. His ambition, sharp mind, and intellect he left behind will forever be remembered. And as the Metropolitan Museum of Art concludes, an extraordinary Northern European artist whose epitaph proclaimed, "Whatever was mortal in Lautrec Dürer lies beneath this mound."
Irresponsible, yes, I'm unreliable, but undeniably true. But I'm irresponsibly mad for you. To my foolish alibi for you, girl, I'm not too clever. I just adore you. Call me unpredictable. Tell me that I'm so impractical. Rainbows I'm inclined to pursue. Go ahead, call me irresponsible. Yes, I'm unreliable, but it's undeniably true. I'm irresponsibly mad for you. You know it's true.